The case study video you're about to see is with Debbie. As you can see, she got shouted out in our university for deleting a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. She used an affidavit that was similar to the one that we have. So that's why you see that in the title. With that being said, enjoy the video.
You have the money, go ahead, invest in yourself. And if when you invested in this university, you're gonna gain more than what you actually invested. Like it's a no-brainer for me. And so if you're on the fence, I implore you, get off the fence. Go ahead and make that annual payment and get it over with. You
Yeah.
will feel much better the next morning when you wake up. I promise you, you will. Because that investment is in you. And that investment is for the future of your family.
Welcome back to my channel. So I got a special guest today. I got Debbie in the building. She's one of the CAT Credit University students, and I just wanted to do an experience share with her, just basically talking about her experience being in the university. How are you doing, Debbie? Welcome to the channel.
I'm doing well. How are you, Mr. Benjamin?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So if you can give the people just a little bit of context, I guess, where you're from and then how you got in contact with me, like how you joined the university.
Okay. For those of you who don't know me, Dr. Debbie McCauley, I've been a school principal for over 26 years. I've had that experience in education from a classroom English teacher to an administrator, assistant principal, now principal for the last 6 years. And I've basically spent my career basically teaching and leading and inspiring growth in others. And so joining Cat University, that was basically a decision that was sparked somewhat by me just basically seeing short videos on YouTube because I subscribe to a lot of channels, especially people who do credit repair and things of that nature. And so I ran across you, Mr. Benjamin, and I started listening to your videos. You were throwing out a lot of content that was basically free um, to people who were hungry enough to actually go and research and do their due diligence. And so that pretty much made me want to know a little bit more about CAT University. And I started listening to your videos and just seeing that you're putting that bait out there, giving that free information. You're a real businessman. So I just know that when you do something like that, you pretty much know what you're doing, you're structured. And if anybody is hesitant about doing what you say, I would say they need to think twice because you know what you're doing and it's obvious. Someone with a chemical engineering degree, like, you just don't roll across that. And so you're very educated, well-educated man. And I really appreciate what you're doing by empowering people and the community and basically telling people that there are things out there they can do for themselves, like
Definitely.
repairing their own credit. And so that impressed me. And I watched so many videos. I was like, what am I hanging around for? It's time to commit and make a decision. And so when I did, I signed up for the monthly membership. But when I got inside, I was like, oh my God, like this is a steal. And we can actually do this thing. Uh, Go ahead and pay the annual fee for the year, be done with it, and just take our time and that impressed me. So I was sold when I actually entered inside of the university and just saw the structure and the format that he basically had laid out.
I appreciate that. I know you said that it impressed you, but it obviously impressed me that you decided to make that annual investment in yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on here so that people could see, it's real people that's investing in themselves. What
Yes.
made you decide to make that investment? Because you just got in, I want to say it wasn't too long ago, and then you made that annual investment. So can you let us know like what made you, like what did you see that made you do all that?
I looked at the consumer law course and how you were educating through your videos. And many any of your materials, you just didn't want to push people towards credit repair. You wanted to push people towards making real money, which is funding. Um, and that was one of the elements that I never ever really, saw in someone doing credit repair. Like they'll hit at like trade lines and things like that. But I've never seen anything like this where you're basically telling people how to go about accomplishing and becoming an entrepreneur. So you're about people going out, becoming educated, and not only just becoming educated, but making a life for him or herself. And the fact that you have put this back to the community, you know, you've accomplished great things. Like you said, you were in it since 21, which is also pretty impressive. Um, this is just 2024. We're about to hit 2025.
Yeah.
And I sort of like, where were you like 3, 4 years ago for me? Like, if I'd have known about it then, I would have gone, just pretty much signed up back then. And so when
I wasn't as good back then. We thank God
it's a
for today.
growth. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You could tell though you've committed yourself to this, and it's a worthwhile investment. People look to get rich quick. This is not that.
Mhm.
This is basically you teaching a man to fish,
Mhm.
because you can basically give him the food, but if you teach them how to go about getting and maintaining it, then they can eat for a lifetime, basically. The old adage, you can teach a man how to, give a man a fish, he'll eat for the day, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And that's what I took from your university when I went inside. And like I said, I love structure. I love education. I'm a lifelong learner, and I just know that I'm going to take my time and commit and invest in myself. And
Mhm.
you can't be cheap. You can't be scared to make money. To make money, you got to release it. So
Mm.
I
True.
know that you've got to be willing to give and invest in yourself, especially when you invest in other people. And I've been doing that all my life.
Mhm.
And so now it's my turn to invest in myself so that I can help take care of my family, especially my 68-year-old mom. That's another motivating factor for me.
No, that's beautiful, for sure. And I like that you said that it's not a get rich quick scheme, because when I tell you the sales calls some of my sales reps take, people just want it like instant, microwave. How fast can I get clients? What's going to be the guarantee? All that. I always say that that's the wrong mindset to look at
Yeah.
it, because like I started in 2021, like I said, I eventually left my job 2022. If I was just like, oh, what's the guarantee and all that, maybe I wouldn't be here. So I just want to emphasize that you have a good point looking at it as like a long-term thing. And one of the things we do have in the university is a 12-month calendar, because I
Mhm.
know that overwhelm can kind of be a thing. How long have you been in the university, just so people know?
Just this week.
Oh, okay, shoot.
I
So you
just,
joined this week? Okay.
like I said, I've been looking at the videos, but I
Yeah.
just signed up. I really just took the dive just this week.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
not
cool,
been
cool.
that long. I don't even think it's been a full week. Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, no, it seems like you've been there for a minute, because you've been, we've been interacting. But I say that to say it's important to know, just be patient with it. And I hope as you've been in there, one of the biggest things I wanted to do is just make sure that people don't get overwhelmed, because there's a lot of information,
Right.
So that was why we did add the 12-month calendar. I know it's been just a week, but have you kind of felt overwhelmed? Can we talk about that?
When you get inside and you look, and you're tempted to just go to different windows and open those up. Like, no, start at the top. This is where you start. Like,
Hmm.
follow instructions. Do, because you don't want to miss anything in between the top and the bottom. And
Yeah.
I feel like if I start at the top, take my time and pace myself, then I'm going to learn what I need to learn and not feel as overwhelmed with such information and knowledge by just
Mm-hmm.
trying to go in there and do it real quick. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to educate yourself, and that takes time. It takes time to go in, research the material. And like you said, you have to do your due diligence. And just looking at all the consumer law and the things that you've spelled out in this particular university is just great knowledge and information to have. So if I just looked at it and, you left me to my vice and did not give me that calendar, I would be totally overwhelmed, especially with a job like the one that I have currently as a principal.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to schedule, 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 and this is no difference. You set your pace of learning, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that calendar. Like I looked at week 1, week 2, like
Mm-hmm.
I can work with this. I can do
Okay.
this. This is manageable for me. But
Okay.
but other people will have a university, and when you get in there, you're by yourself. It's like a self, you've got to be an independent learner to do this type of thing. And you should, the motivation comes when you come in with like-minded people in this community. I mean, there's so many great people in this community. I'm just looking at their wins and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I will get there eventually. But it
Mm-hmm.
was really impressive to see how that the community is just showing everyday people like myself how you can accomplish this, that this is reality. It is within striking distance if you just follow the procedures that is being laid out for you. So it's basically like you the instructor and you're basically giving us what we need. But I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to that mentorship. This is just the first step. But like I
Mm-hmm.
said, you get in, you learn what you need to learn, and then you go from there.
That's dope. I think it's interesting because before you joined, obviously we had to build it, brick by brick. We didn't have the 12-month at one point. I think we added that maybe a couple months ago or so. So we're always constantly adding stuff. One of the recent stuff we added was, I don't know if you've seen, just a weekly report of how people got stuff deleted and the method and
Oh,
how they
yes.
deleted it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because that
they
was
were very specific with that too.
yeah,
And I'm like, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's great.
So I guess me just asking you, is there anything, I guess, off the top of your head you would say that you would like to see improved in the university? I know it's only been a week, but just
It's
anything. You
just
come from
been
a
a
teaching
week.
background.
And
Yeah.
for what I'm actually looking at and you know, coming across in terms of your videos. I mean, I love it because you pull no punches. You are straight to, you basically tell
I
it
talk how
like
I
it
talk.
is.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And people may become offended by that, but I like that kind of teaching. Like,
Marketing.
you don't have time. It's no nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I love, the videos and especially the one about how you said we're gonna make people who do credit repair mad and and that's great. The do it yourself, all of
Mhm.
that, and then you throwing that in, to help people. And like I said, your free videos before we even joined the university. I mean, it's just it's awesome work that you're doing, and I really appreciate that. And so I'll keep looking, and seeing, but I'm not here to be a critic of anything. I'm here to learn. So um,
Appreciate that.
I want to learn. You're the teacher, I'm the student, and that's how I see it.
Appreciate that. And I know that I think it was you. We just recently launched the software. I believe that
I
you
did.
use the
I
software as
went
well.
ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have that as well. I guess people that's watching, maybe they've been watching my videos, maybe they're on the fence, maybe they're watching this video right now. Before I ask you, let me first ask you, are you like did I come on here, tell you to be a paid actor and say all these good things about
Oh
me?
no, 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 no. I couldn't wait to get on here because when
Yeah.
I saw it, I communicated that to you. I'm like, oh my God, this is a steal. Like,
Mm.
You know, you'd be crazy not to go ahead and pay the annual, you know, just go ahead and get it out of the way. If you would go back and look at your bank account, look at all the things that you spent your money on, food, you know, different things, movies.
Hmm.
If you would take that money, look at what you spent for the month, you would actually have the membership. I mean, what I spend on food, that was my mentality. I waste more money getting this, which I really don't need, or that, which I really don't need. And just to see how I've been blowing my money, so to speak. I'm like, no, I'm fixing to invest in myself. And that's where I am now. Because when I saw, like I said, when I saw my mom, you know, tired and, you know, 68 years old, still in the food industry, she's at working at a daycare. I told my mom, and I said, you know, I'm gonna retire you.
Mm.
I said, I'm going to make crazy money, mom. And I said, you're not going to have to work another day in your life. And she told me, she said, I believe you because I have the receipts when it comes to keeping my word with my mom. And she knows when I say something, I mean it. Like when I was a little kid, I told her, I said, Mom, I'm going to the big school, talking about college. And she reminded me of that of like about 5 or 6 years ago when I got my doctorate. And she was like, you said it. She said, one thing about you, if you say you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. And that's the mindset you've got to have, you know, in this day and time. You've got to seize every opportunity, invest in yourself. That is the most potent investment you can make. We shouldn't look at somebody else making money off of us. That is not that's the wrong mentality. This should be you wanting to get that knowledge and that info that has caused them to be successful. And so that's where I am when it comes to deciding to go ahead and pay for the annual rather than just pillaging monthly, monthly, monthly. But you know, you have the money, go ahead, invest in yourself. And if when you invested in this university, you're gonna gain more than what you actually invested. Like it's a no-brainer for me. And so if you're on the fence, I implore you, get off the fence. Go
Mm.
ahead and make that annual payment and get it over with. You
Yeah.
will feel much better the next morning when you wake up. I promise you, you will. Because that investment is in you. And that investment is for the future of your family. And you want them to have, you know, y'all look, and I'm not trying to be a political person, but
Mhm.
you think about it. They're talking about touching Social Security and all of that. Most of our elderly people are on that. And you want to make sure if that goes away, they can still have that sustenance. We can sustain them, you know. So that's my thinking about my mom and my elderly stepdad. So that's what pretty much prompted me to get into this because I started back in 2018 trying to learn about credit repair
Mhm.
and I didn't take it seriously as I should have, but I have now because I've learned so much in terms of consumer law and just listening to your videos. Um, that's really inspired me to do what I do.
Definitely. No, that's definitely beautiful. I mean, it inspires me too, the fact that, you know, you are looking out for your mom, because that's personally one of my greatest motivators as well, family.
Yes.
And when I do make these videos, I'm always telling people like, think about the people in your life, you know, your family, think about your friends, think about your kids, you know, people that's gonna benefit from this information. So I think it's a very selfless thing of you. And I think just people that think in that selfless manner are doing, you know, God's work in a sense. So I definitely
Yes.
salute you on that, and I definitely appreciate you coming on here. Appreciate it, appreciate it. With that being said, you guys make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll have a link in the description if you want to join us in the university, or you know, you could just keep watching the free videos until you come and tap in with us. Y'all have a blessed one.